So, in the simulation previously we looked at some of the ideas of specific heat, that we have to supply certain heat to the substance, but then we also understood that there are two different kinds of specific heats. One is with the constant volume, which goes directly to only the internal energy delta U, but the other one is constant pressure. When we talk about constant pressure, then you are also adding the term which is called enthalpy, and enthalpy is nothing but total energy, which includes two terms. One is internal energy plus the work PdV. So, now what we are doing is that we are also adding the work done on the system. So, if you look at the Cp, which is done at constant pressure, then you are looking at, for that ideal gas, what is happening, not only the internal energy at the atomic level, but as they are expanding, how much work they are doing on the environment, which is PdV part. So, that is the total energy, or what we call enthalpy of the system, and we can calculate that. So, if you look at on your screen again, delta U, and again we are looking at thermodynamic state 2 and 1. So, we start with 1 and we compress the system to 2, and that is the system that we look at, and that becomes CVT dt, as well as we are now looking at the Cp, which is multiplied by temperature and delta T. So, if you look at the relationship between Cp, which is specific heats, is the R, which is the universal gas constant. But if you look at in case when the system is incompressible, that means there is no work can be done, because there is no change in volume, it is incompressible. At that level, Cp becomes Cv. So, both constant pressure and constant volume specific heats are identical and denoted by Cp and Cv, which are given by kilojoules per kilogram per Kelvin. So, that is the unit for it. So, if you look at internal energy and enthalpy of the liquid and solid, now we can calculate that, and delta U, which is including going from state 1 to 2, Ct dt. Now, again we are looking at incompressible system, then that becomes, and delta H becomes nothing but delta U, which you calculated from the one specific heat that you need, added that with the VdP, which is the pressure change that you are looking at, but volume is not changing. So, I think that is an important factor that you are looking at, and that is where I think we are now able to look at internal energy and enthalpy of the liquids and solids using the molecular dynamic simulation, which we will look at slightly later. Now, let me also introduce another concept which is connected with the second law of thermodynamics, and that is about Clausius inequality. Again, Clausius was the scientist who worked on some of the thermal system, and what he came up with the idea that the definition of entropy, which again is a very abstract concept, which allows you to understand order going into disorder, some of the losses that happen which are not recoverable lead to the increase in the entropy. So, the definition of entropy is based on the Clausius inequality, where he says that delta Q, which is the amount of heat that you are providing over the temperature, that integral of that delta Q over T has to be less or equal to 0, where the equality holds for internally or totally reversible process and inequality for the irreversible process. So, this is why I first wanted to introduce the concept of reversibility and irreversible process. Let us try to remember one more time and understand the reversible process was the one where you had quasi static equilibrium at every level when you go from point A to point B, and so it was a smooth curve, and you could reverse through that smooth curve because of equilibrium situation. However, when you look at irreversible process, there were fluctuations, and those fluctuations would not lead to a reversible path, and that is where this equality, Clausius inequality, says that delta Q over T will be less than 0 if there is irreversible process, while it will be equivalent to 0 if it is reversible process. So, that is where we can define delta S is equal to that irreversibility that you have, and that is equal to delta Q, which is the amount of heat over the temperature. And we are looking at the cyclic integral is 0 is a property, and entropy is defined as internal reversible process. So, that is what we are looking at, and is measured in kilojoule per Kelvin. So, if you look at heat transfer for an internally reversible process, now we are looking at measurement of the quantity which is very important in thermodynamics, which is called entropy, and we are assuming an ideal gas and a reversible situation, which in reality is very hard to achieve or impossible to achieve in some cases. So, if you look at the temperature and entropy diagram, and so we look at going from state 1 to 2, and we are essentially doing in this case providing heat and expansion of the gas is taking place, the volume. This is or we are looking at the entropy going down because of the irreversibilities are going up, and so it is going from ordered to disordered state. So, area under the process curve represent the heat transfer internally reversible process. So, now if you look at here, as we are providing heat, this A is equal to T multiplied by ds, which is equivalent to the heat supplied to it. So, again if you look at the special case of internally reversible system isothermal process, where the temperature is kept constant, is delta S, which is the change in the entropy, which is equivalent to the heat supplied over the temperature, kilojoules per kg. Obviously, what you are looking here is all the heat that is supplied to the system is not converting into temperature. Some of it is getting absorbed in the atomic system, and that absorption is causing some kind of order to disorder transition, and that disorder is what we call as internal entropy of the system. And if you look at when you are doing work from this heat and a system, then that part of the work is irreversible. So, you cannot get that entropy back, and entropy always increases. So, if you look at the entropy change of an isolated system, so let us create an isolated system, and now we are going to look at subsystems within that. So, let us say there are n number of some such subsystems. So, what it says that the entropy change of an isolated system, where there are a lot of these subsystem inside, is the sum of the entropy of individual. So, if you sum them all the entropies, which is given in your slide here, think about these clouds which are the subsystems, and so delta S total, which is equal to the summation of all internal entropies in an isolated system. That means, there is no heat transfer taking place in between, but there are subsystem inside, still the entropy is greater than 0. So, this is where it's the important thing here is the increase of entropy principle, and that is an important concept you have to understand in molecular dynamics as well, because as you are doing molecular dynamic simulation, you will realize that you are increasing the entropy of the system, and you are then taking system, although you can start with the original position and location of the atoms, but as you are giving more velocity and the temperature and the heat to the system, which we will see in the simulation slightly later, what you will see, you are creating entropy, and that is when it becomes irreversible. So, the crystal you started with, if you heat it long enough in a very violent way, that means we have increased the temperature fluctuation without achieving quasi static equilibrium, then you will never be able to go back to the same crystalline structure, although by decreasing temperature you can get to the crystalline structure, but not the same configuration that you started with. So, this is an important part which says inequality part of the clause. Yes, inequality combined with the definition of entropy yields an inequality known as increase of the entropy principle. What that says is that the entropy generation is always greater or equal to 0. So, if you have very quasi reversible equilibrium situation, you may be able to have entropy generation 0, but you will never go negative entropy. You can never go to the negative direction. It will always be generated and it will be greater than 0, whereas generation is the entropy generated during a process, and that is where all systems, all processes increase the entropy, and that is where now we are going to look at the same solid that we looked at earlier, and we are going to take it through the phase transition process and see how we are able to get to the entropic situation by providing heat to this to this solid, and we will also look at solid with and without gravity as we did earlier, and understand what kind of entropy we are creating. So, that can we recover the system or we cannot recover the original crystalline structure or not. Thank you.